out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have Hunger Games, the first one. So this is the Steelbook out of the Best Buy exclusive one. Of course, on the back, you have all the districts and what they're supposed to do, especially District 1, then luxury, masonry, technology, fishing, power, transportation, lumber, textiles, grain, livestock, agriculture, and mining, which doesn't have District 13. That's very interesting. Anyway, how is the Hunger Games? Of course, I've seen this one. Now we're going to rank them of all 5 of them. Let's do it. Chase Liaki here with the Blue Futon reviewing Hunger Games. What's about? Pretty simple premise. 12 districts. Every year, there's a battle. Basically a battle royale with all the districts. 2 of them. 1 girl, 1 male. And you know what? Only 1 can survive. So did I like this movie? Absolutely. This is the only movie in the whole franchise right now that is directed by someone different. 2 through 5, if you want to put it that way, was directed by Francis Lawrence. And this one's by Gary Ross. And you can kind of tell the difference. Gary Ross does this very, very little CGI. Yes, Francis Lawrence also does very little CGI as well. But the personality of the first one felt very unique and different compared to the other films. This one is very close-up-y. This one feels like there's no CGI, like I said before. This just feels personal. I think Gary Ross does a fantastic job with that, with making the book and the movie a reality. Jennifer Lawrence does a good job. I've noticed this since watching these movies back to back to back to back, that Jennifer Lawrence's character, actually, I start to dislike more and more. And I'll continue that when I review the other movies. But I think with this one, she still has her innocence, and she's still trying to figure out the world around her. And she's always an angry person, which, you know, you have Woody Harrelson's character, then you have Elizabeth Banks, you have Josh Hutcherson, all these characters trying to get her out of the shell. Like, you know what, you kind of need to change if you want to survive these games. And it does do that in a fantastic way. The setting of this movie really works when you see the District 12 versus District 1. And a huge, huge difference. And I think that does a fantastic job as well. You really don't dive deep into the other districts 2 through 11. And you can say that's maybe a negative to see, oh, what does each district do? Because honestly, if I did not read what each district is supposed to be, I would not have known that, like, District 3 is technology, except when you read or watch, I think, is it the second one? That's when it goes into that. Yeah, when you see all the other people. Or honestly, like, District 8 textiles, like District 7 lumber, and you only know that lumber one due to something that happens with, you know, the revolution. But when you go through this story, yes, you could say that it is almost a carbon copy of the Japanese movie Battle Royale. And yes, that's a better movie overall. But this is a movie where kids are killing each other. And I know for a fact, like, my sister refused to watch this for that premise. And yes, and it is a daunting little movie that it does that, where it says, you know what? We're going to have kids kill each other. And yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant whatsoever, but neither is the Battle Royale movie in Japan. But that one's more about kids not being obedient to adults. This is more, you know, have Snow trying to make sure everyone stays in their lane, if you want to put it that way. So if you had to say some negatives about the show, you could say that you wish some characters had more depth to them. Yes, you are following Jennifer Lawrence. Yes, you are following Josh Hutcherson. Yes, you have a good grasp of Elizabeth Banks, good grasp of, you know, Woody Harrelson. Now, I wish they had more Stanley Tucci, but that is a different, you know, complaint for other movies rather than this one. So when looking at this movie, it's written well, it's edited extremely well. The surrounding environment is it really sucks you in, of even District 12, where the arena. District 1, you kind of want to go to these areas. Even though you know District 12 is kind of a shitty area, you still kind of want to visit for the beauty of what it's supposed to be. Like I said, some negatives. I do wish we could see a little bit more of these middle districts. I understand that District 1 and 2 are the victors, are usually the victors, and I completely understand that. But getting to know some of these middle districts, I think, could flesh out the story a little bit more. And of course, I know they don't want to do that because it's all about Katniss and Josh Hutcherson's character. Completely understand. But when you get to see some of these kids dying, you just wish you understood them a little bit more. But it is what it is for a movie. But I think Hunger Games as a whole is a fantastic movie. It's directed well. It's acted extremely well. Like I said, I think this is one of the better acted ones. And when you continue down the line, is some things happen to some of the characters that you expect the character arcs to change, but they don't, and they don't really learn their lesson. But this is just the bare bone, what did they experience for the first time going through these Hunger Games? So the Hunger Games will receive a 4 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 80%. So let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have critics at 84% with 318 of them. Audience scored 81% with over 250,000 critic consensus. Thrilling and superbly acted, The Hunger Games capture the dramatic violence, raw emotion, and ambiguous scope of its source novel. Absolutely agree. And so when now rating this with the songbirds and ballads, Hunger Games songbirds. I already could tell you the songbirds will be number 5 because to me, I didn't like that movie whatsoever, even though Francis Lawrence directed it. It just didn't connect with me whatsoever. Anyway, 80, 81, 84. Chase the Lock here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of the things, Butantopia. You Butons think about a great day. I don't care about this day, tomorrow, week, from a month, or a year from every single freaking one of you. And of course, you know which one is next on the Hunger Games docket.